I came to SC in '68 as an assistant professor. My research career was very successful. The timing was right to transition into being dean.
Len Silverman was probably the longest-serving dean in a period of great transition.
When he started back in 1984, the world was a different world. The school was transitioning from a very defense focus to something that was different than that.
Len was a transformative figure. He came into leadership of the school during a great time of transition.
The school didn't have quite the financial support that it now has. We had some struggles and he had to make some hard decisions.
Dean Silverman always had an eye to the future. And even when things were difficult in the present, he was looking ahead.
You have to have a vision, you have to guide where you want the school to go. How do we take the school into the top ranks?
When Leonard Silverman became dean in 1984, the United States was at the height of the Cold War, and the aerospace and electronics industries created a constant demand for engineering education. Dean Silverman helped the school enhance its faculty and student capacities to meet this need, and also grew the Instructional Television Network, or ITV, to deliver education at distance. By 1985, ITV had 2,000 students, 40 remote locations, and more than 30 corporate partners. At the same time, a group of faculty convinced Dean Silverman that USC could be a leader in the emerging field of photonics. Key funding from the Keck and Powell Foundations created a new USC Photonics Center. In 1989, the opening of Caprillion Hall marked the culmination of a remarkable 5 years, during which the school raised $60 million in philanthropic support and added nearly 90,000 square feet of research and instructional space. A particularly successful initiative was the founding of the Systems Architecting and Engineering Program by Eb Reckton. In 1990, a gift from the Hughes Aircraft Company led to the building of the Hughes Aircraft Electrical Engineering Building. In 1991, the collapse of the Soviet Union caused a dramatic contraction in the U.S. defense industry. In 1993, Dean Silverman recruited Max Nikias to the faculty and to become Associate Dean for Research. Exploring the possibilities for multimedia research led to a National Science Foundation proposal that in 1996 founded the Integrated Media Systems Center, the only NSF engineering research center in multimedia and the Internet. In 1998, Dean Silverman worked with USC President Sample to convince Alfred Mann to fund the Alfred E. Mann Institute for Biomedical Engineering and created new programs in environmental engineering and biochemical engineering. In 1999, Dean Silverman appointed Ellis Horowitz to transform ITV into Dennett Viterbi, the distance education network, consistently among the top 5 online graduate programs in the country. With his 17 years of expert leadership, by 2001, the school had recruited new generations of students and faculty and advanced the frontiers of engineering education. He also established lasting relationships with notable alumni who ultimately served on the USC Board of Trustees. These included Mark A. Stevens, who launched the USC Stevens Center for Innovation, Ronald Tudor, who helped lead the creation of the Ronald Tudor Hall, and later, the Tudor Campus Center, Daniel Epstein, whose naming gift created the first named academic department at USC, the Daniel J. Epstein Department of Industrial and Systems Engineering, and Andrew Viterbi, whose gift gave the engineering school its current name. In 2005, Dean Silverman's accomplishments were commemorated with the naming of the Leonard Silverman Endowed Chair.
In the 20th century, Len was probably the greatest leader.
He was able to actually attract to the school outstanding leaders from outside, particularly on the board.
I got a phone call one day. Hi, I'm Len Silverman. He said, I'm the dean of the engineering school. And the bottom line of it is all of my philanthropic efforts trace directly back to that phone call.
Len initiated, perhaps for the first time in the school's history, faculty searches that were successful in increasing the racial and ethnic diversity of the faculty composition in the school.
If we look back now at the time, that he was making these difficult decisions. We see that he has made some really key hires that ended up really pulling the school up to where it is now.
I don't think you can have a major university without a great engineering school. And I think we've accomplished that.